Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Joseph C. Connor Field at Loyola Blakefield for tonight's varsity football game between the Loyola Dons and the Archbishop Spalding Cavaliers. We're excited to have you join us on the Loyola Sports Network as the Dons seek to topple Maryland football's finest in a must-see MIAA matchup.
Yeah, George, 100%. I mean, these Spalding Cavaliers are nothing to be reckoned with. I mean, they haven't lost an MIAA game since 2021. Let's look at a little bit of team comparison here. As we can see, as they kick off.
George Schaefer, Reed O'Connor with you as we kick it away. Corey Adams receiving for the Dons. Getting around to the outside, and he's corralled before the 20. Bounces off, actually, and he's taken down inside the 10-yard line.
In my opinion, that was a little bit of a silly play there by Adams. Should have just gone down on that first attempt. They would have had that forward progress, but now Dons are backed up in their own end zone against a tough Cavaliers team. So as I was saying before, let's look at a little bit of team comparison. So Cavaliers at Dons, the Cavaliers sit atop the MIAA first place while the Dons trail behind. However, we do have 52 more Turkey Bowl victories than they do, George.
Yeah, Reed. However, you know, the last time they lost a MIAA conference game, November 12th, 2021, and for the Dons, that was actually just last week against MSJ. So it's going to be a tough matchup. The Dons have not beaten the Cavaliers since 2014, and nobody has beaten the Cavaliers in the MIAA, like we said, since 2021.
And you know what? If you're a Dons fan and you haven't seen that MSJ game, I would go watch it if I were you. I was play-by-play commentator for that one.
I wouldn't watch it. As Carlos Spencer gets their offense started, hands it off to Mason Russell, who trips forward for an extra couple of yards, pickup of a few. There's
Russell on the season. He's got 479 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had a great week against MSJ last week. Did he have a touchdown, George? I believe he did.
I believe he did. He did have one that got called back.
Yeah, for excessive celebration.
So it's 2nd and 4. And Reed, talk to me about Carlos Spencer and this Dons offense.
Well, you know what? Just a sophomore. He reclassed Carlos Spencer. He should be a junior, but he is a sophomore right now. His first year as starting quarterback for this Dons offense. And, you know, he has looked a little bit immature to begin this season.
I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, you have a young quarterback coming into a game where he's playing a really, really good defense in Archbishop Spalding, one of the best in his state. It's not going to be easy at all. But as we did just see, he had a really nice play there finding Braden Pross on a check down.
Yeah, and Braden Pross, I mean, what an excellent wide receiver. In his senior season, he's had almost 1,000 yards, 950 and 7 touchdowns. Carlos Spencer, he's also a little bit of a threat on the ground there, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns.
As Spencer comes under center, it's 1st and 10. Mason Russell to his right. Pross to his left. Play action to Russell. Pressure comes, and Spencer is taken down immediately.
Yeah, the pressure was instant there on Spencer. He didn't have a second to even think about what he wanted to do. It just dropped by 2 blitzers up the center. And, you know, that's one of my keys to winning this game tonight for the Dons. They have to have that strong offensive line. We know they have the players for it. We know they have the strength, but they really have to hold strong against this Cavaliers team.
Absolutely, Reed, and plays like that is not going to get you there, as it is now 2nd and 20 for Carlos Spencer as he goes empty set, and they're definitely going to need yards on this play if they want any sort of momentum coming out of the gate.
Yeah, and Pross, we talked about him earlier. He's at the bottom of your screen.
Going long is Spencer, and it's batted away incomplete. The target was Logan First.
Yeah, tight coverage there on First. Not much he could do.
Yeah, and actually the coverage was there from Spalding's star on defense. That's Sean Johnson, number 1. The senior is completely dynamic in the backfield.
Yeah, we were told by his coaches he's one of their best defensive players. And, you know, speaking of coaches, George, we talked to the Loyola Dons head coach, Coach Holzer, and he gave us a few keys to the game. What were they, George?
Yeah, he gave us 3 really good, important things to note. He said, when you play a football game, anything can happen. Spalding is a really good team, but they can't play fearful of them. The other thing is that if the Dons play mistake-free football, they're just as good as anybody in the conference, which has been proven as the way they came back versus MSJ last week in the second half. And then the last thing is, he said, you just got to believe. and belief is going to be the main thing that gets the Dons far today as a flag is down. Spencer rolling out and gets nowhere, and we'll have to wait to see what the penalty is going to be.
Yeah, and if this penalty is on the Dons, it'll be a tough situation for them as they're already backed up close to their own end zone, not even across the 20-yard line.
The penalty is holding on Loyola, and it's been declined, so the punt team will come on.
1 first down gained on their opening drive is as much as the Dons can say, and now they're on to punt.
Yeah, and this is absolutely not what you want to start the game. You know, it's good if you're the Dons to come out here and actually punch Spalding in the mouth a little bit. We're just going to have to see how they manage on defense as Jimmy Lazzotti gets set to punt it away.
Yeah, we were watching him in warm-ups. Lazzotti, who has a tough path to follow. Owen Sheeing, the kicker last year, was one of Loyola's greats.
As a great return here for Spalding, they're going to have more than good field position there. And it was number 3, Keith Miller, the sophomore.
Yeah, another one of those players that we were told by Spalding coaches is a breakout player on this team. He's going to make plays dynamic in this kick return and on the offense.
So now taking the field for Spalding, their quarterback, it's Brian Snowden Jr., the freshman, and he's only really starting this season because of the unexpected departure of Blake Howell, senior quarterback.
Yeah, they said that Howell would be the starter coming into this season, and then I don't know, something happened between him and the coaching staff, and now it's Snowden.
Yeah, and on that first play, handing it off to Antonio Ledbetter Jr., the senior running back, and they thought he got into the end zone. They're really just down on the 1, but already Spalding's showing what they can do, Reed.
Yeah, I agree, George.
And Ledbetter into the end zone with no challenge at all as the Cavaliers go up 6-0 over the Dons in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, it was just an unfortunate first series there for the Dons. They got pinned back by their own end zone, couldn't really make anything happen. And then the great return by Miller set Spalding up for an easy touchdown.
So Spalding needed an extra point to make it 7-0 with 8:36 left to go, and they will do so. So 8:36 left to go in the first quarter as Spalding gets set to kick it away to the Dons for the second time tonight already. And not a great start there for the Dons. What do you think they need to do, Reed?
Yeah, well, firstly, I think they just need to maintain possession as long as possible. We know this Spalding offense can score. We know they can score very, very quickly. And this game could get out of hand if the Dons don't maintain possession, have a nice long drive, maybe even finish out this first quarter with an 8-minute drive and, just tie it up 7-7. Keep this game close.
Absolutely. The defense is the offense in this scenario. So Carson Brown back to receive their second kick of the night. Adams will field it at the 5. This time chooses to power through instead of cutting to the outside, and he gets to the 20.
Yeah, good decision there for Adams. And you know what, George? Let's take a look at this Dons starting offense as we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, and the big name is Braden Pross, senior. He's averaging 20 yards of reception, which is just something that's completely unheard of, in football. Already at 950 yards, already at 7 touchdowns in just 50 receptions.
Yeah, we already talked about Spencer and Russell as well. Carson Brown, that nice slot wide receiver, he's got a lot of touchdowns on this season, as well as Evan Jackson, who has a touchdown on himself.
Spencer passes batted away. The intended receiver was Mason Russell, and it was deflected by number 51, Jaron Williams, the senior.
Yeah, that was a nice heads-up play by Williams. They were looking for the short little screen pass there to Russell. Couldn't get it into him.
2nd and 10 from the 22-yard line. Spencer in the gun. Russell behind him. He goes empty set. Spencer with 20 seconds on the play clock. Airing it out to Pross in double coverage, and it's batted away. Really nice hands there from number 33 on Spalding. And it will be 3rd and 10 in just 2 quick plays.
Yeah, he's looking for his number 1 target there, Braden Pross. Couldn't connect. It was the same thing with First on the other side of the field. That Spalding defense, those defensive backs especially, they're speedy. They can keep up with the wide receivers with almost no challenge.
And honestly, it looked on that play, if he had just put a little bit more air on it, Pross probably could have gotten a hand on it. It's a really tricky read to make when he's in double coverage like that. So it's 3rd and 10, and the Dons need something for positive yards within their first 2 drives, which they have not gotten yet. Spencer has time, zips it across, and it's good for a first down from Logan First.
Yeah, First took another big hit over the middle there. We saw that against MSJ last week. Took a massive hit and was down for a minute or 2. It's those crossing routes over the middle, George. Sometimes you really just take a beating from the linebackers there.
Absolutely, especially the way that Spalding is able to do it. But it's those scrappy plays that the Dons are going to need if they want to stay in this game. You got to be able to hang on to a pass like that, and it was a great job there from First.
Yeah, and the Dons get a first down now, which is key.
And it's Spencer with Russell to his left, and Russell is corralled immediately and dropped for a loss of 3.
There's a little bit of handsy action after that play.
Yeah, as Antoine Jackson, the right guard, is going to have to check out for a play because his helmet came off. And he will be replaced by, I believe that is number 52. And it is Grant Wenger.
Yeah, these 2 MIAA rivals already getting chipper.
Yeah, and it's important to mention, actually, the last time the Cavaliers came up here, and the last time they did play against the Dons, it went into overtime, and it was one of the closest games Spalding's played in quite a while.
Yeah, that was a scare for them in their MIAA record.
And on 2nd and 13, that pass to Pross is incomplete. So another 3rd and long situation, Reed, and, the Dons, if they want to have good offensive momentum, they can't keep getting themselves into this situation.
Yeah, I agree. And that pass from Spencer, it was just a little bit behind Pross there, and I'm not sure he would have gained much if he caught it anyways.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I think maybe they're just setting up, in that play for a shorter 3rd down conversion, and it's going to be a lot more difficult now as Pross is actually completely alone on the left side now. Spencer looks for Pross. He wasn't there, and he's going to take off himself and get absolutely rocked for no gain. And actually, it's a loss of 2. So the Dons will send out their punt team for just the 2nd time in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, and everybody at home, they could see that just the absolute speed coming from that Spalding defense. I mean, I would say Spencer is one of the fastest players on the team at being that running style of quarterback, and they just got to him so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good rusher, 82 for 229, 4 touchdowns coming into this game, but he's negative rushing yards already. And it just kind of speaks to how Spalding operates, as this punt will bounce out of bounds at the Spalding 45, and they will take over on offense within their own field position for the first time.
Yeah, so good news for the Dons. They had a decent punt, no return. Now they actually have some room at their backs to defend.
And this is a really important drive for them. They cannot go down 2 scores early. So it's Snowden with one to his left, one to his right. They'll hand off. And it's Evan Jackson with the tackle, as that is good for a first down from number 16, Cameron Pinson, the senior.
A lot of broken tackles that time.
Same formation, Snowden play action this time. Mosier was there as this one is caught by Ledbetter, and he's taken down at the 1. Mern missed the tackle there.
Yeah, Ledbetter almost carried that one into the end zone. And Snowden just has guys open all over the field.
Yeah, but let's talk about Brady Mern, though. He's a really great player. He had a really good opportunity to make something happen there. Just Ledbetter's really good. But, no, Brady Mern, I mean, just absolutely a dog on defense. 86 tackles with 4 interceptions already and a sack this season. So, he can get things done when he needs to, as Spalding punched in another one with just 5:10 to go left in the first quarter, and it is 13-0. So, Reed, what do you make of these first 2 series?
Well, the Dons are going to have to do a better job of stopping Spalding. They scored in 3 or 4 plays there, and obviously it's tough for this Dons defense to stand up, but what they really have to do is they just have to make the tackle the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the very first time. And, missing tackles is what a lot of people around this organization have been talking about today and the week leading up to this game, saying if you make every tackle, then this should not be a problem. Holzer himself, he said, mistake-free football. If we play mistake-free football, then we're as good as Spalding. We're as good as anybody we need to be as good as. There were a few mistakes. The offense has looked stagnant. The defense has not been able to make a tackle, very early in the game. So you don't have to worry too much, but this is definitely a drive where the Dons need to show that they can make something happen. As Corey Adams and Carson Brown back to receive. Interesting to see Adams receiving back there. It's usually Braden Pross back there with Karsten Brown, as this is the 3rd one in a row in Adams' direction, and this one will bounce out of bounds for a penalty flag.
Yeah, so that'll give the Dons really good field position. Definitely have space to work with now. And the Holzer offense that we've seen so far tonight, mixing a run play, a short pass, but then they're going to always take that deep shot around 2nd down. And we'll see if that continues, because it's almost worked out. Good defense there by Spalding for the 2 times that they've tried it, but maybe if we get a little bit more air under the pass.
For sure, and it is now 1st and 10 from the Dons 35. It's definitely one of their better starts, so they have to take advantage of this opportunity. They had to take advantage of every single opportunity from here on out. As this one is given to Russell, he fights his way forward for a gain of about 4.
Yeah, he bounced off a big hit there. Kudos to Russell on keeping his feet chopping.
And it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line, and, maybe they do hand it off to Russell a little bit more this game.
Yeah, obviously we saw some great improvement in the MSJ game last week, and, we'll see if he can stand up to that this week as well. He's had a couple of good runs tonight, got stuffed in the backfield on one, but this is a very, very tough Spalding defense, so it's to be expected.
As Spencer nearly has his man there, that's Evan Jackson, and he zips it incomplete. And it'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that's just a tough mistake there from the Dons. Jackson was open in the flat. Would have been what seemed like an easy 1st down there.
Yeah, and it's these opportunities that they have, we've been saying it, I guess, nonstop for the past 2 minutes, Reed, but you have to take advantage of them. And, this is a 3rd and short that is absolutely, it's a necessity that they convert this. So we'll see what happens here as Spencer goes play action, checks it down to Brown, and it's through the hands of Karsten Brown. And this is yet another Dons offensive drive that ends in a punt. The 3rd in a row, and we're not 4 minutes left to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, that one looked like it was just a little bit too far out in front of Brown that time. Obviously, he should have had it. Went through both of his hands, but just...
So, yeah, Jimmy Lazzotti seems like he'll be a busy guy tonight. He, going into this game, has had 23 punts for 715 yards. He averages about 31 yards a punt, and his longest punt has been from 53, as this one sails to the Spalding 29-yard line for a fair catch. So it seems like, Reed, going into each drive, we're going to say, well, the Dons have to get a stop here. The Dons have to punch it in on this one, or else things are going to keep getting worse for them. I mean, while it is true, it doesn't seem that mentality is going to change much, given the trajectory of this first quarter.
Mm-hmm. And, we like to say it, but it really is a necessity. They can't go down by 3 scores in the first quarter.
Snowden with the handoff to Ledbetter, and he's almost there for the first down. And this is actually kind of interesting that I've noticed from Spalding, that they have Pinson and they have Ledbetter to the left and right of Snowden, and then they both kind of move off to the right, and one of them gets the ball. One of them, so it's Ledbetter that either, drives up through the middle, or they give it to Pinson and he'll take it out to the outside, and it's been working really well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know exactly what that formation is called, but it seems like it's working out for them.
As this one is just a little bit overthrown, as Snowden was looking for David Ledbetter, different Ledbetter here, Reed. And he had the beating of Jack Rinn, the cornerback for the Dons. They could not make the connection. It is now 3rd down and 2, and we'll see if the Dons can get a stop here.
Yeah, Snowden had him. He was open. Just overthrew him a little bit.
High snap, and Mosier is there on the tackle. A huge stop for the Loyola Dons, as they absolutely needed that. Spalding is going to stay on the field, however.
Yeah, they like to say he just buried him there, but he really did. The second he got the ball right into the turf from Mosier.
Absolutely. He did it really nicely against MSJ last week, and we were told he was going to get limited snaps, and we didn't see him on the field too much in the first 2 drives, but it's kind of an imperative now, as it's 4th and 3. Really shifty at the line. They might just be trying to get him to jump, as there's now 10 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, the Dons did jump twice last week against MSJ.
4 seconds to go. 3. And they could not get the Dons to jump. Timeout called by Spalding with 2:45 to go in quarter 1. And the Dons did get a defensive stop, which is really important.
Yeah, and after that stop, the student section seemingly hopeful that the Dons can make something happen here.
It's important to, have them on their feet for this game, just because, in high school and college football, home field advantage is a very real thing. We saw it last time Spalding came up here. They seemed rattled they finally got it together. Like, the last drive of the game is when they kind of finally got their stuff together. Malik Washington looked kind of rattled. Their run game looked stagnant. The Dons defense did a pretty good job that game, and it's kind of the doing of the student section, as this punt is blocked. And yet another big win for the Dons here. A huge mistake for Spalding.
And what a play there for the Dons. That's the kind of play that helps you get back into a game against an amazing team like this. And the student section is just joyous over there.
And it's the senior Michael Esco who got that done, starting defensive back, and he comes up huge here. And the Dons have amazing field position, which is not something I thought I'd be saying.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, George. And, you were talking about how student section, they have such a big hand in this game. And I agree. Like, Malik Washington, we saw him rattled here last time, and we know he's a good player. He's the starting quarterback over for the Terps now, and
having an outstanding freshman season.
Yes, he is.
You know what he can do. As we have a timeout, and I believe that may have been by the Loyola Dons.
Yeah, I heard over the PA system that Coach Holzer wanted to talk to his guys, so we'll be right back on Loyola Sports Network.
And so we are back with 2:39 to go in quarter number one. The Dons inside the red zone, believe it or not. And I think that timeout that Holzer took there was just kind of to tell them, hey, like, it is highly important that we score here as Spencer has an open man and a flag is down. We'll see if that could be pass interference. It is defensive holding on Spalding, so that should get Loyola a lot closer to the end zone, Reed, and it's two costly mistakes for the Cavaliers that the Dons need to capitalize on.
Yeah, you know what? And that's how the Dons win this football game. Costly mistakes by Spalding and limiting their own mistakes by the Dons.
Yeah, and if they can limit their own on this drive, then we'll have a one-score game and see if the Dons can get another stop. As it is first and goal from the 9-yard line. Spencer play action looking for Pross in the end zone. And it is incomplete. Well, that looked good for a second there.
It did. Pross had to make a diving attempt there, but we know he's talented.
So that'll bring up second and goal. And the Dons making a few changes on offense. They're taking out number 17, Reed Tully. And they're taking out number 18, Sam Levin, who's usually on defense as a left end, but we'll see him occasionally taking tight end snaps. And actually, it's interesting because the Dons, they don't really give the ball to tight ends. They use tight ends as blockers, and that's about it.
Yeah, you know, they had a big tight end last season in Derek Cease, and once he left to go to college, they haven't really had a replacement for him.
Yeah, and you know, it kind of helped for Cease that his twin brother was the one throwing to him all the time. You kind of have a chemistry. But it is third and goal with 2:22 to go in this first quarter. And the Dons absolutely need to get in the end zone on this play.
Yeah, and we kind of saw this last week against MSJ, the red zone struggles for the Dons.
Yeah, and you know, if they lose this game by like one or two scores, this is the one that people will go back to. If they can't get in the end zone here, people are going to go back to this one and say, like, you have to punch it in on that drive early. As Spencer, pressure comes early, it's tipped away. Russell is absolutely corralled at the 10-yard line for a loss. So the Dons will probably look for a field goal here from Jimmy Lozati. And that's what they will do. Lozati, as a kicker, he's 5 for 7 in the year on field goals, 25 of 27 for the PHC, as this one should just be a chip shot for him. I don't want to jinx it, though. Lozati's kick is good. So it is 14-3. Archbishop Spalding with 1:41 left to go in this opening quarter.
Yeah, we saw Lozati nailing 40-yard field goals in practice, but practice is totally different than a game when it comes to kicking.
Yeah, and it's important that he keeps making these kicks when he has the opportunity to, because the Dons are going to need every single bit of points that they can get. Ideally, they would have gotten in the end zone on that drive. We'll just have to see how the defense can respond. As Lozati does get set to kick it away for the Cavaliers. Back to receive is Keith Miller, the sophomore. As this one is driven extremely low. And still on his feet is the special teams man for the Cavaliers as he gets just past the 40-yard line. So Snowden in the gun, as he always is. High snap, and he's fumbled, and it's recovered by the Dons.
The Dons are on it.
And it's, guess who, Michael Esco, the second time he comes up huge for Loyola today. And, you know, we wanted to stop. We got a lot better than that. We got a turnover.
And I mean, George, Snowden just looked lost on that play. The snap came up around his helmet, and I think it bounced off of his helmet, and then he looked the wrong way for the ball. And Esco knew exactly where it was. He tracked it down and dove on top of it. What a play.
And Michael Esco, what a game he's having today. Already with a blocked punt in recovery, and now a fumble recovery. He has 2 recoveries now.
Definitely, George, but I don't even know if we have to say it. The Dons need to get in the end zone.
Yeah, and Mason Russell has a good opening here as he powers forward for a gain of about 7 or 8. As this one is a gain of 7 yards. As it'll be 2nd and 3 from the 29-yard line. And, you know, Russell, when he wants to, he can really power forward. I mean, it was really good blocking there from Antoine Jackson and Jason Block to make that open up. So we're under a minute to go in the first quarter. 14-3 Cavs. 2nd down and 3 for the Dons. As Spencer is in the gun, Russell to his left. And they've been lining up usually with 3 wide receivers to the right as they do so again. This play is whistled down, and I believe there might be a flag.
Yeah, George, and you know, I was going to talk about the defensive lineup for the Dons. We haven't done that yet, but they got the ball back for their offense so quickly we didn't have time to do it.
And
so
they kind of introduced themselves, if you think about it. I mean, just the way
they really did. So next time the Dons are on defense, look out for those key players.
Yeah, and you know, we've kind of said their names a few times: Cole Mosier, Brady Murrin, Jack Rinn. As this one is taken back 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 8 after that false start. Empty set now for Carlos Spencer. Pressure comes, and he has Mason Russell for a short completion, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, just a gain of 1 there for Russell. It was a lot of effort for just 3 feet as he got clobbered on the catch.
And it will be 3rd and 6 as time is running out in the first quarter. Maybe the Dons let the clock run down here and talk this one out. We will see.
Yeah, George, it doesn't look like they're going to try to get a playoff here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like where they're going to do. So at the end of the first quarter, not looking too bad, could be a lot better, but it's 14-3 Spalding Cavaliers when we come back on the Loyola Sports Network. Back for the opening of the second quarter. It is 3rd and 6 Dons as they have switched sides. They're looking to go the other way here. Spencer back in his empty set. 3 wide receivers stacked to the left. They have tight ends in. Spencer has an opening. He's going to take it himself, and he's good for the 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, good heads-up play there by Spencer. I mean, we know he can scramble. He put his arm up like he wanted to throw it right before he crossed the line, but then he made the better decision just taking that 1st down.
Yeah, and that's really good awareness there from Carlos Spencer to know, you know, when is the time to run, and that was the time to use his legs, and good on him for getting out of bounds.
And, you know, as just a sophomore, I'm glad to see that awareness already developing in him. It's a good sign that he'll be amazing by senior year.
Yeah, hopefully. As Spencer returns to the empty set, it worked the first time. Mosier in as a tight end. Spencer looking right. Dumps it off to Pross. Pross has a blocker, and he fights his way forward for a gain of about a few, maybe about 7 yards. And it was a gain of 7. That'll bring up 2nd and 3 as the Dons get into the red zone for the second time tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it countless times at this point, George. The Dons need to score here. You know, the red zone struggles, they need to end.
Yeah, that was a big thing last week. And, you know, we could keep saying this if they had scored on this drive, if they had scored on this drive. But, you know, I'm going to say it. If they had got into the end zone last drive and they get into the end zone here, we have a tie game as Russell stopped short. So it's a gain of 1, and that will bring up 3rd and 2. Dons definitely would like to convert here. Although if they can get a field goal, it does become a one-score game. It wouldn't be too bad, but you know, knowing this Spalding Cavaliers, they're bound to get it together at some point. They're bound to, you know, start moving the ball better. We're going deep to the end zone here, Spencer, and he had Evan Jackson. It looked good, and it's batted incomplete. And no surprise there, as that's Sean Johnson, the senior. Yeah,
just another PBU from this Cavaliers defense. We've seen that 3 times already tonight. And they've all been on deep balls, so we know that their safeties and their defensive backs have that ability.
Yeah, and it looked like Johnson just knew that was happening, like, from the time the ball was snapped. And that's kind of just a big thing for Spalding is they rely on him pretty heavily in the secondary. So Lazzotti will kick for the second time tonight. A little bit of a longer field goal for him, but shouldn't be too bad nonetheless. As this kick is good, and we have a one-score game, 14-6. Cavs lead when they come back on the field. And, we'll see if the Dons can, keep this up on defense.
Yeah, but we know that turnovers aren't a sustainable form of defense. Like, obviously, they're good in big moments like we've seen. But what we really need is a nice third down stop.
Yeah, but I mean, Reed, going off of what you had just said earlier, they did get it. They did force a punt, at one point.
They have.
And that, if you can do that, that's more sustainable. And the block was just the cherry on the top there. That wasn't really a turnover, I would say. As Lazzotti boots this one high and long, and it is fielded inside the 5. Really good opening here for Spalding, and he's going to go.
Yeah, that was a nice kick for Lazzotti.
And Miller's into the end zone, and that's how Spalding decided they were going to respond. So it's 20-6 with 10 minutes left to go in the first half. And Spalding will be really happy that they did that. Dons see, they can get the ball back on offense really quickly. The bummer is we still can't introduce those defensive starters.
Yeah, George, we're into the second quarter here. Those defensive starters should have been introduced already. That was a mistake on us, but Spalding just even putting insult to injury there.
Yeah, we'll get it at some point, won't we? 21-6, 9:47 to go in the first half. And it looks like the Dons are going to be thrust back into the offensive hot seat.
And you know what, George? That's not necessarily a bad thing. Everybody likes to watch offense.
Yeah, honestly, it would be better if it happened like this, if you think about it, than if they just took, the next 4 minutes driving down the field and picking apart that defense and getting into the end zone. At least we have more time to possess the ball now.
Yeah, and if it comes down to a last minute, 2-minute possession there by the Dons, we end up scoring and walking it off on Spalding. We'll remember this moment when they scored too quickly.
Yep, and it's Adams and Brown back to receive once more. This is probably the 4th time they've done that today? 4th time?
I think so.
Yeah, it would be the 4th. 3 touchdowns in the opening kickoff. So it seems they might be busy back there, as will Spalding's kicker. as this one falls short of the end zone. Adams will receive, see if he can replicate what just happened, and that won't happen, but there is a flag down after the play.
Yeah, and the outcome of this play really depends on that flag.
And the Dons would love another, extra 10 yards there. Not sure if that's what's going to happen. We'll see if the ref starts walking forward or backwards here.
And it looks like they'll take the chains forwards.
Yep, so the Dons get an extra 10 yards. I think they said it was maybe a non-necessary roughness. That looks like more than 10 yards to me, Reed. That looks like it could have been 15, eh?
Yeah. Nonetheless, excellent field position.
Yep, definitely much better than they would have had without the flag. So Spencer will take over. First and 10. They hand off to Russell. He bounces off a man, and it ended up being not too great for him as he's wrapped up for a gain of none.
Yeah, really just fighting with all of his might to get back to that line of scrimmage.
And another flag thrown here after the play. The Dons are celebrating, and it just looks like another careless mistake here for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, the Spalding Cavaliers begin walking into their own territory.
So this should be... Oh, they're going way up. Yeah, that looks like it's an unsportsmanlike, and it's going to be first and 10 now from inside the Cavaliers' 45-yard line, and a big blow there for them. So Spencer in the empty set. Pressure comes quickly, and Spencer's going to need to get this ball away, and he can, and the ball's loose. They'll say it's down. They're going to rule him down, but you might as well have just put him back there like two plays earlier. Now it's going to be second down, and I'm not even counting that.
Yeah, I agree. Penalty just negated. And now, they just have an astronomical amount of yards to go till that first down.
And that looks like it's going to be 2nd and 30 for Carlos Spencer and these Dons. And Spalding, when they've brought the blitz on him, it's been highly successful. They won't on this play, and Spencer had a lot more time than he thought. So 3rd and 30 is not what we thought we'd be seeing from within the Dons' territory. After those two flags and nice run by Mason Russell. Just not profiting off of that mistake at all.
Yeah, and our producer in the box is really attempting to count how many yards they have to go.
I think it's 30, but I'm just not sure, and it might not even be worth counting. Empty set for the 3rd play in a row. Spencer has time. No, he doesn't. Spencer running for his life. Flag is down. Takes a throw, and he has a man downfield, who I believe is Evan Jackson.
Not close to that first down, but we'll see what the flag says.
Yes, and it was Evan Jackson, and we're going to see. And it's going to be holding on Loyola. So if they replay that, which they will, it's going to be 3rd and 40. So I think it's 4th down maybe here because they just negate it from the yards. And so Lazzotti will punt. Not great, Reed.
Not good at all, George.
Lazzotti's punt is going to drop short. They'll let it go. And there's Michael Esco, the junior there, who's been really successful again tonight. As the Dons defense takes a field, let's take a look at some of their stars. There we go.
And here they are. Finally, we can introduce the Dons defense. Of course, Adams there to highlight that defense. He's an astounding defensive back, 5 stars.
Yes, absolutely. Headed to Notre Dame next year. Highly recruited by a lot of the powerhouse schools. #1 defensive back in his class. And that's kind of the main guy you need to know about if you're new to watching the Dons.
Yeah, and then Sam Lavin there on the end of that graphic. He leads the team in sacks.
As this one is incomplete, and Sam Lavin was there to stop things up. Nice coverage there by him, and they're going to need more of the same of that if they want any chance of making this game look good. And so 2nd and 10. Snowden, handoff to Ledbetter, and looks like he's got the first down, they'll say.
Yeah, and Ledbetter is just one of those players that does his best to make defenses look silly, just darting in between defenders, gaining more yards than you thought was possible.
No, it's actually going to be 3rd and inches here, and the Dons would love a stop here, but Ledbetter will not give it to them, as it's very hard to wrap up someone like that, even if you are Cole Mosier or someone else on that defensive line. So another Cavaliers first down as we are past the 7-minute mark in this first half. Snowden rolling out to his right. Mosier after him, going deep. And incomplete. No flags on the play, and it was really sticky coverage there from Evan Jackson.
Yeah, great play there by Jackson just to be the one that kind of disrupts that pass. I don't know if he got a hand on it, but definitely it's tougher to catch when there's somebody right in your face.
Yeah, and you're right. It may not have been there, but Jackson was. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Cavs, and another incompletion here would be great, but I assume they're just going to hand it off. No, they will not. We go check down, and it's a gain of about maybe 1 or 2 yards for 3rd and 7. So pretty important there for the Dons, and it's important here that they do not allow a first down. Snowden. In the gun, taking his time here. Snap is high again, and another fumble from Snowden, and the Dons say they have it. What is happening here, Reed?
I'm not sure, George. This is an anomaly for sure from this Spalding team.
And the Dons are on top of it, and it's Jason Block who recovers. What a player Jason Block is. 300 pounds in his junior year, and he absolutely makes Snowden pay.
Yeah, I mean, he plays right tackle as well in that offense, so he's a high work rate player, taking snaps on the offense and defense.
And again, you can't say it enough. Dons need to capitalize here as Russell takes it up the middle, and he gets a good gain here of about 6 yards.
Yeah, it's a shame. Just tripped up there by the ankles. Could have made a move on a man if he didn't get tripped up, like I said.
Yep, and it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Dons. So, man, Spalding looked, okay, I'm not going to say anything because it is 21-6. But, you have that kick return and you have some good field position, but when they've been deep in their own territory, they haven't looked too great on offense.
Yeah, George, I don't know if it's the pressure.
I don't think it's the pressure. I think it's just mistakes. As a flag is down here, but Prost does catch one in the end zone for a touchdown, and we'll see. We'll see what this is.
What a reception by Prost. The defensive back got turned around there.
We're awaiting on the ref's call. Hopefully this isn't going back, but Jason Block says it's going back. I think it's going back. Oh, man. You don't want to see that at all right now.
Yeah, that's just too bad.
So this will be second or third, maybe second and 15 now, instead of 21-14. And that is a huge missed opportunity there. It'll be third and 15. Oh, no, never mind. Third and 20, that's great.
Well, you know what, George? They just have to make that same play, but just to get the first down.
So what do you think, Reed? Set up for a field goal or take a shot at the end zone?
I mean, you don't want to set up for a field goal. You don't want to take a shot at the end zone. You just want the first down right now, George.
I mean, for sure, but it's just looking like they said it was third and 20. They've changed it to second. Hopefully it is second. As Spencer rolls out, his blind side was pretty well marshaled, and he has a completion to Evan Jackson.
And you know what? It was second down, George.
It was second down, and it'll be third and 12 now.
Smart play call there by Holzer just to get about half of that first down yardage that they needed.
I do like that. I mean, I'm not sure if he's actually the play caller on offense, but whoever is, it was good that they did that there. Now the key is, they do need a first down on this play. 4:45 to go in the first half. Spencer in the empty set. Let's see if Spalding bring a blitz. They're showing a heavy blitz here.
Third and 12. This is a big play.
Yeah, Spalding rushing 6 players here as just a pretty bad incompletion there from Spencer. He obviously felt a lot of pressure coming, but he had maybe a half second more, maybe 3/4 of a second more, where he could have put that, in a little bit of a better spot.
Yeah, and lofted it high there for Pross, and Pross just giving every effort to get to the ball, tripped up a little bit. I think he could have gotten there if he didn't, if the turf monster didn't get him.
And the Dons are going to go for it on fourth down here, 4th and 12. Really aggressive here from Holzer.
I mean, you have to be aggressive against teams like Spalding.
So, yeah, Spalding have learned that if you blitz, really blitz, like they just sent half of their defense at him on that play. If you really blitz on Carlos Spencer, they can force good things to happen. There's 3 seconds left in the play clock here. Spencer gets the snap off. Spalding rush 5. Fires over the middle, and he does have Braden Pross, but it will not be enough, and Spalding will take over. Honestly, I actually don't hate that decision. And the reason is, even if you don't get a first down, it's kind of hard in high school to punt in that situation, and it's a little too far to go for a field goal, so that it is 4-down territory. Even if you get yards and you don't get the first down, it's just like a matter of field position rather than like a matter of possession.
Yeah, and we'll see if Spalding makes another mistake here. That could be what the Dons are looking for. And
yeah, but you can't just, like you said, mistakes aren't sustainable, and that drive just proved it. As this snap was a little bit low, maybe that means something. I don't know. As a really nice run here from Spalding, and they just absolutely take advantage of the fact that the Dons couldn't get into the end zone here.
And maybe those mistakes with the snaps and the fumbles by Snowden, maybe that's just his inexperience. He is a freshman.
He is. After all, he's a freshman. You can't blame him for it at all. You certainly can't blame Carlos Spencer either. So Cameron Pinson, flag does come down on this play as Pinson is stopped short. He was the one with the 15-yard carry on the last play. And this one could be coming back. They're telling Holzer what it is now, I think. Yeah, it's coming back.
Yeah. Sometimes the officials in the MIAA just like to have long, extensive conversations about penalties.
They like to, talk about the penalty over a nice bite to eat or something, or certainly not. We saw it against MSJ. They took so much time talking about these penalties that the game, it got pitch black on Harkinen. The game started at 4.
Yeah.
Oh, play action. Really good fake here from Snowden. He doesn't get past the line of scrimmage, but it will be about 2nd and 10. Everybody bid on that fake.
Yeah. Snowden gained maybe 3 or 4 yards there. Remember, Spalding was backed up behind that original spotting for the first down.
So it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Cavs. Man in motion. It's a handoff to Pinson, and he's brought down, but not before he picks up a first down.
I mean, with the way these running backs for Spalding are looking, they should just hand it off every time.
Why not? If that's what works, it's not working for them to pass the ball right now. It just hasn't worked. What has worked is, Ledbetter and Pinson, as maybe I'll be proved wrong right here. A nice incompletion there, still fighting for the ball. The whistle has been blown. It was Brady Mern and Evan Jackson there who could not stop Snowden from
completing that
pass.
pass.
It was a tight window, too, as we're approaching 2 minutes to go in this first half. Hurry up offense here as Pinson bounces off a man, fighting forward, and he's to the 10. And just in a matter of seconds, you go from 1st and 20, deep in their own territory, to now deep in the red zone.
Yeah, and the Spalding Cavaliers just make it look easy, George. They really do. Especially when it comes to just the hurry-up offense, getting back to the line quickly. They don't always go into a huddle like they're doing now. They just line up at the line.
Yep. Man in motion. They'll hand it off to Pinson, and Pinson is wrapped up. Not something I thought I'd be hearing today was Sam Levin and Luke Kirkpatrick there, who stopped him. Kirkpatrick is a good one to talk about. The junior defender. 18 tackles on the season, and that was a big one right there for him. As it's 3rd down and 10. 10 towards the end zone, at least. It will be no matter for the Spalding Cavaliers. As they are into the end zone, once again, it's Ryan Sullivan, the senior, and the Cavaliers will go up 28-6 before halftime.
Yeah, Sullivan pretty much untouched into the end zone as he darts around defenders.
Yeah, and it's kind of the moment where you watch them get into the end zone again and you wish that you had been in the end zone a few more times, Reed.
I agree, George.
Dons need to make something happen with the next 77 seconds that they have left in this half. I mean, they really do. You don't want to go into halftime
without a touchdown on the board.
And the Cavaliers do get the ball. So
this one could get out of hand very quickly.
I mean, no, it's already out of hand. It's already out of hand. 28-6. 1:17 left to go. Spalding will kick it off for the 5th time in this half. Karsten Brown and Corey Adams have been pretty busy back there tonight. They will continue to be busy back there. Karsten Brown averaging 21.8 yards per return, and they've been kicking it to Corey Adams, who has not been one of the Dons' main return men. It's been Braden Pross, who himself has also averaged 21.0 yards per return. Falling to Adams once more, as Adams is wrapped up at the 20. Nothing new here, as that took 7 seconds. This clock's still running. So the Dons will have 68 seconds to get into the end zone here.
Yeah, and Adams looked like he wanted to turn on the boosters, but just ran out of space.
And a flag is down on the field, and it looks like it might be on Loyola. I think we're getting an illegal block in the back call. So we'll see now how the Dons can respond. I mean, do you think they get points here, honestly, in this drive before the second half?
I mean, I don't know, George. It's tough to say because what you really need is points. But I don't know if they stack up against this Spalding defense.
I mean, their offense doesn't look that bad, honestly. They've gotten into the red zone. They've driven down the field. They just haven't they have not gone in the end zone in both times they've gone in the red zone. As this one's caught by Logan first, they're going to wave it incomplete. It absolutely was not incomplete. We have a really good angle right here. It was just not incomplete.
He had that one in his hands as he fell to the ground. That was an easy completion.
Yeah, and Logan first looks at the student section and just shrugs, and that's all you can do.
And the student section had an even better angle than we did, George.
Yeah, they had a much better angle. I mean, the Spalding Cavaliers coaches were right there. None of them thought it was incomplete. None of them made the signal. They just kind of let the ref do his thing. Man in motion. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. And we're going to get a timeout by Loyola. We'll take a quick break. So 61 seconds to go. 2nd and 10 for the Loyola Dons offense, who have looked stagnant. I think that's a word we've been saying a lot. But, they've also been quite unfortunate, as Spencer has 4 to his left. And I think they're just going to try and run out this first half here.
Yeah, maybe they'll, take it in halftime, talk things over, and come out a different team.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about mistake-free football. It certainly has not been mistake-free football whatsoever.
I mean, for either side, George.
For either side. But you know what the difference is, Reed, is that Spalding capitalized off of all of the Loyola Dons' mistakes. And the Dons have not been able to capitalize on a single one of Spalding's mistakes.
I mean, you could say that a field goal is like half capitalization. So if we
add the two together,
it's one
single mistake that got capitalized on.
One capitalization has happened.
But you get the point that it's just been really, if you're Holzer and you're on the sideline, you're watching, they get a touchdown, they get in the end zone, great play, holding call, and you just look at that, you're just, oh my God,
Yeah.
You have to do better there. I think when you play against a team of Spalding's caliber, you have to be absolutely perfect. And if the Dons want any shred of a chance this next half, that's what they have to be. They have to be absolutely perfect. As Spencer takes a snap, drops back, he has Braden Pross, who makes a man miss and then is brought down at the 20. And we'll see if Loyola they only have one timeout left, and it looks like they're going to take it. So Braden Pross is good for a first down, and they're going to let the clock run. I think it only really stops. I think the clock stops, right, when you get a first down and they put it down, it resets. So 30 seconds to go. They haven't even got set yet, the Dons. 20 seconds now. Spencer pressure comes, and he is sacked. So if the Dons are smart, they'll just let this one kind of roll into halftime and talk this over. And if I'm right, Spalding's going to get the ball, so they're going to have some work to do when we come back. For now, Cavaliers 28, Dons 6 at the half. They're going to have a lot of work to do, and we will see you there on the other side on the Loyola Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. The stream did stop for a few seconds. We are back live. It is 35-6 with 9:30 left to go. The Dons did go 3 and out. Spalding does have the ball back. So yeah,
I wouldn't call it 3 and out. They had a couple of penalties, but you pretty much just missed the entire Dons drive.
And you didn't miss much. Spalding back in the red zone, looking to make it 42-6. So yeah, Reed, nice little welcome back to you guys from the Archbishop Spalding Cavaliers as they go hurry up, play action, and a wide open man in the end zone for a Cavaliers touchdown. Clock is running on the extra point. A little strange, but it is 42-6, Archbishop Spalding, and it can't get much worse now, so I think you just kind of got to play like you got nothing to lose. They gave him 2 points. That's strange, you know? They gave him 2 points on that extra point conversion. So it's 43-6? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on with the scoreboard here at Connor Field, but
so 42-6, Archbishop Spalding. Its score has been corrected. And it just keeps getting worse, doesn't it, Reed?
it does. It really does. You know, George, I won't lie. There was a flicker of hope for the Dons.
There was.
14-6.
14-6. Could have been 14-14 if they had gotten in the end zone. But then the more mistakes you make, the less momentum you have, as Carson Brown is pummeled at the 20-yard line. And the Dons just looking for any sign of life here now. So Dons on their own 20. It's 1st and 10. And we will see Carlos Spencer and the Dons offense. And, you know, it's starting to beg the question at some point, do you make some switches in personnel just to kind of, you know, let people try out, you know? Just, you know, and there have been in situations where last year when the Dons were up by a lot or they were down by a lot, they just kind of switched out and they gave Carlos, you know, a turn at quarterback just to see what he can do in a low pressure situation. Dons don't really have a backup quarterback.
Yeah, not that I could name.
So I guess not, because, you know, you have Spencer. Other than that, their backup is technically Brady Mern, but, you know, he's needed on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm not really sure what changes you would make. Maybe, I mean, there's still a lot of football left. They gotta play the Turkey Bowl on Thanksgiving. They got senior night next week versus the seed school. So it is important that these games, you know, I guess that they're getting reps, as this one is launched downfield and another flag down after the play. And you know what they were saying is that Sean Johnson was holding down Braden Prowse's arm. He looks very upset that flag was thrown. So the penalty is pass interference on Spalding. It has been confirmed. And it appears that the refs, I think they might just do like running clock once it gets to be so much of a score. So probably why the clock has been running. But it is a first down, Loyola, after yet another bailout, and we'll see if they can capitalize on it this time, Reed.
Yeah, I mean, the Dons, if they want to come back in this game, it would be a very futile effort, but they need to score pretty much on every drive from here on out, and they need to score quickly.
Nice play there from Karsten Brown. Won't pick up much, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. After that gain of 2. And the Dons, you know, it would be nice just for the fans and for people here just to have like a nice big play, you know, just like something to get people on their feet and cheer for. The game's, I mean, obviously gone, but just a little something as Spencer in the empty set. Pressure comes quickly. A dump off is absolutely locked up. Thought he had Carlos Spencer. And the Spalding defensive back said no. He was number 20, who's not rostered. But nonetheless, it is 3rd and 8. A familiar situation for the Dons this evening, and it would be nice to see them convert on one.
I agree, George.
So 3:41 to go. 3rd and 8, 42-6, the Dons trail as Spencer catches a wide snap and overthrows Braden Pross. You know, in my mind, Reed, you might as well go for it, but they're just not going to. They'll punt it away.
Yeah, I don't even see the point of punting anymore, George. I mean,
Yeah.
we know this Spalding
Yeah, I was
offense
going to say, they're going to punt it away, and then...
We know this Spalding offense could score from pretty much any yardage amount on the field.
Yeah,
so.
right. If you put them deep, they're going to score. If you just, you know, you're right. Why not just take a nice shot, deep shot? The looks are there, the reads are there. It's just about making the throws.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, for everybody listening at home, after you're done watching the stream, you can head over and watch the World Series Game 1.
Oh, wait, that's on right now.
Yes, Blue Jays versus Dodgers.
Is it on right now or is it on later?
I'm pretty sure it's on right now. I just got a notification on my phone. And, you know, that's the battle of the U.S. versus Canada, really. But everybody around is kind of rooting for Canada in this matchup. Nobody really wants to see the Dodgers win it again.
I'd rather see the Blue Jays win for sure. Yeah, 8 o'clock tonight in Toronto. You know, that's going to be pretty electric. They haven't been to one in quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a number of years for them. And, you know, George, I almost slipped up and I almost said, let's introduce this Dons defense just because I thought we were still waiting to introduce the defense.
Well, Spalding has decided to use a backup running back, and he's wrapped up by Mosier. Gain of 1 on the play. And it was number 34, who's also not rostered.
They have a lot of unrostered
They have
players.
a lot of unrostered. I was looking at this roster. It's very,
Very spotty.
very limited, yeah. I mean, it is like their max preps roster, so. Really nice look there for Snowden as he finds Joey Sheffers, the senior.
And you know, George, I'm surprised they haven't pulled Snowden yet. They have a backup quarterback, number 12. He wasn't looking terrible in practice.
No, he was not.
Says here on our roster he's also a strong safety, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, Lavin almost got his hand on it. Mern makes the tackle, and it'll bring up 2nd down. But that would have been pretty neat if we, you know, Sam Levin got his hands on that. That would have been a pretty nice play. Instead, it's 2nd down and 8. As we are almost at the end of the 3rd quarter. That was a quick quarter, Reed. A quick quarter.
That it was.
Snowden over the middle, and he has his man. Sheffers beats the man and muscles his way inside the 20. And out of bounds for Cavaliers, 1st down. And we'll probably just let that go, I assume, to the end of the 3rd quarter. They are hustling to get to the line. They want to get one last playoff. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Snowden gets the snap off, hands off.
There he goes again. That's another touchdown for Spalding.
And yeah, let us down easy at least. And their unrostered running back gets into the end zone, Reed.
You know what, George? I would love to have their unrostered running back on Loyola. I think.
Oh my God.
I think he would be a standout on this team next to Mason Russell. You know, have that dual back threat.
For sure. It's now 48-6, and we'll almost be at the end of the third quarter as soon as that extra point goes in. And this is not the same Loyola Spalding game as we had 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that it's not, because that game came down to the wire. Overtime. I remember I was a freshman for that game. I was doing camera. Pretty shoddy camera work, if you ask me, George.
For sure. So at the end of the third, it's 49-6. We'll be right back with a hopefully quick fourth quarter. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth quarter on the Loyola Sports Network. The Loyola Blakefield Dons in a thrilling matchup versus the Spalding Cavaliers as they trail 49-6. Reed, what can they do to win the game in the fourth quarter?
Absolutely nothing, George.
Exactly.
Absolutely
They
nothing.
can win the fourth quarter, though.
They could win the fourth quarter. I'd like to see the Dons score a touchdown, maybe two here.
I feel like I've been watching the Baltimore Ravens tonight.
And you know what? That's okay, George. That's okay. We get to watch them on Sunday, and hopefully Lamar Jackson comes back.
He is back. For all of you who've been wondering, Lamar Jackson is active and confirmed to be playing on Sunday versus the Chicago Bears.
They didn't confirm he was playing.
They
He was just
did.
practicing.
They did. He was limited on Wednesday, full participant on Thursday and Friday. Harbaugh said after they lost to the Rams that Lamar was confirmed the starter against the Bears. If not, they probably would have lost that game. Ricard is also back. That's a big piece of their offense.
You know, it is. It really is. People underestimate.
No, I
Patrick
didn't
Ricard.
realize how important the Ravens' offense was with Patrick Ricard until he was gone and nobody was blocking for Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
It was actually, they were tackling Derrick Henry.
And you know what? That I formation is super important to that Ravens offense.
It really, and they couldn't make it work. They couldn't make anything work on offense. 3 points versus the Rams, 10 points versus the Texans.
Pitiful. Really pitiful.
Very pitiful. So hopefully the Chicago Bears are an easier opponent on Sunday, Reed.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Lamar Jackson will come back. He'll make some magic happen, and
Yeah.
I think we'll win. Diving attempt.
Incomplete from Carlos Spencer to Karsten Brown. It is 3rd and 8.
And you know what? Let's just keep that clock rolling, you know?
No, that's what I think. I think you have to. I think the rules of the MIAA are that, once it gets to a point, you just have to let it run. And it would have been nice if they had done that last week with MSJ because it did get really dark. If you go back and watch that game, it was so dark.
I mean, they were having a hard time seeing the ball.
We couldn't see when we used our phone flashlights to see the game.
That was just silly, George.
Yeah.
Just silly.
As Carlos Spencer sets a man in motion, it's Mason Russell. Has some time, makes a nice throw to Evan Jackson, who was blown up.
This Spalding defense hits really hard, George.
Yeah. I noticed that. And really, I hope they don't send the punt team on. God, they're going to send the punt team on.
The punt team is coming on, George. Don't you just love a good punt?
No. Honestly, why punt it at this point? Just let it fly. Take it.
Jimmy
every time-
Lozzotti needs to
every
get some
time-
practice.
No, but he's gotten plenty of reps tonight. At least every time it gets to fourth down, send Pross deep and just let it fly. I mean, honestly, at this point.
I mean, what even is Spencer's range when it comes to throwing?
I don't know. Just test it. This is a good time to find out.
Test the range?
Yeah.
I mean, he was having a hard time throwing 30, 35 yards.
Yeah, but he had a really nice completion where
He did. I agree. All I'm saying.
And they're like,
All I'm saying is he was just underthrowing receivers deep. You know what I mean?
yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't. Like,
Well, obviously I know that, George. I'm just saying. You know, I do love when it gets to a point like this, George. We could just have a conversation.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. 9 minutes to go, 49-6. Spalding Cavaliers lead, and they have the ball back.
Oh, the center with a nice pass. Look at that. He threw it from midfield all the way to the sideline.
I think we might have a backup quarterback in.
You know what? They should put the center at quarterback, George.
We do have a backup quarterback in. I can't see his number, so I actually have no idea who that is.
It's number 12. We talked about him earlier. The
Number
strong safety in
12.
at quarterback, and he zips it. What a pass.
Nice there from Jalen Bowling.
Hey, George, you know who could have made a better pass? The center. I really want to see them put the center
Jalen
at
Bowling,
quarterback.
welcome to the game. Senior strong safety, as you mentioned previously. And
He is now the signal caller, George.
Bowling steps back, steps up in the pocket, has a man downfield and overthrew him just a little bit, but it was a good one.
That was a pretty spiral.
It was.
You know who could throw a better spiral, George?
If you say the center, Reed.
The center. The center.
No, honestly.
Did you see that beauty of a pass to the sideline from the center? He wound
Yeah.
up and he just launched
Hey,
it.
if you actually think about it, though, Reed, you know, it's weird. Both Loyola and Spalding, their backup quarterback options are safeties, senior safeties. I don't know what it is about those safeties. They must have good field vision.
Is this another touchdown, George? I believe it is.
No, it's not.
Spalding steps into the end zone for another touchdown.
As long as they don't get to 60, I'm happy.
Your deficit now climbs to 50 points.
55-6. Spalding
excuse me,
Cavaliers. It's a
49
49-point lead. I don't like spreading misinformation, Reed, but
We await the PAT, George.
we do. He has not missed in any of the 8. Is it 8? Is that what it is?
8.
8 touchdowns?
8 touchdowns.
Oh, it almost was blocked there by Jack Rand.
But it wasn't. 50-point deficit, George. But guess what? The Dons offense comes back on the
The
field.
Dons
Let's
offense.
see them. Let's see them. I would love nothing more than to see the Dons offense score a touchdown here.
It does need to happen.
Maybe they should recruit that Spalding center to play quarterback.
But like in all seriousness, Carlos Spencer is very good. He's going to get a lot better. It's hard to play against Spalding with the defensive backs that they have, and the fact that they've been blitzing 6 people at him all game.
I mean, I agree fully. It's hard to play against any team in the MIAA conference, but especially Spalding.
And no, but like seriously, they've been their blitzes weren't just like sending 5 and maybe an edge rusher.
Yeah.
They sent 6. That's
You can't
most
even-
of that. It's not even half. That's most of their defense that they sent at the quarterback, because they're willing to take that risk, and it paid off tremendously for them today.
You can't even blame the offensive line when they're sending 6 because there's just somebody unblocked every time.
It's then like you need to have a 2 tight end set to reciprocate it, and the Loyola Dons don't do that. As Carson Brown gets to the outside, Carson Brown has a hole. Oh man, if he only stayed on his
No.
feet. Oh man.
And he's angry at himself
He
for that
got
one.
to the 40. He looked angry. I'm a little angry. He should have got. Oh man.
You know what? Maybe they'll score here,
And
George.
maybe it's a sign, but
A little explosiveness there from Carson Brown.
yeah, and that's why they kind of want him to have these kick returns. As we said, that's why they kind of put him on the side that Corey Adams was on, because they want him to field it. They want their quick guy, and hopefully this kind of speed for him helps during the Turkey Bowl, because that's what we're looking forward to now. Spencer hands it off to Russell. Russell fights his way upfield for a gain of 7.
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down.
And it's 2nd and 1, 2, 3, 4 yards.
4 yards, George. That's it.
It looks like it could be 3. It's probably 4.
3, maybe 4 yards to go.
I'm going to take the safe bet and say 4.
Yeah, looks like 4 to me.
Spencer, play action. Airs
Spencer.
it out over the middle.
Oh, I
remember-
thought that could have been
Yeah,
caught.
do you remember when Mark Andrews was playing against the Browns and they like yanked
course
him
I
down, and then he
remember.
turns around? That looked like that. If he had caught that, that's kind of what that would have been like.
Of course I remember that play. And he jumped up and he spun the ball on the
Yep.
ground. Oh, that was hype.
It was good football.
That was amazing football.
I miss those Ravens.
I do. This broadcast is just silly now, George.
No, but I mean, you're gonna take what are you gonna take seriously? 56-6.
56 to 6. You just got to have fun with it at this point. You know what I mean?
Yep, and I want to see shots at the end zone for the rest of the game because I want that touchdown.
I would like nothing more.
And they're going to hand it off to Mason Russell, who will not get the first down, but he'll get awfully close, and they really need to go for it on this
Will
play.
they send the punt team on, George? It's a mystery.
If they send the punt team, I might just please don't. It's 4th down in less than a yard. Dons are obviously going to go for it. Like to see them convert on this. It's 3 minutes now left to go in the game. The Dons trail 56-6.
Clock is winding.
Clock is winding. And they made him jump. What? No.
I said it was on Loyola.
Ugh. At least just give us, if you're going to give us one thing, just give us that. Like, come on
Just
now.
give us a penalty.
So the Dons probably won't see the field again for the rest of the game unless Spalding does score on this next play, of course.
And it could happen, George.
You know what?
It very well could.
Very well could. If they get to 60, that's really, I just don't want them to get to 60.
Yeah, well.
60 to 6, 60 anything to 6 would be bad.
You know what? When a team scores 60
Wait.
at all.
Oh, wait, so what happened was we're just punting now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could have just gone for it, honestly, again. I don't see why not. But,
Who knows? Try to keep
we
the
are
players from getting
at
injured, maybe.
2 minutes, 50-point deficit to overcome. Reed, can the Dons make it happen?
With 2 minutes left.
2 minutes to go.
And increasingly winding because the clock doesn't stop at this point.
Yeah, so the Spalding Cavaliers will run the ball out, hopefully.
Do you believe in miracles, George?
No.
Not this time? Not this time.
Spalding's run game is honestly impressive.
It is.
It's very, now they have their 4th string running back in. And,
You know, George, I'm glad I'm not going to be at Loyola in 3 years because when Snowden is a senior and he's all polished as a passer.
I wouldn't want to be at an MIAA school when Blake Snowden is a senior.
Yeah. He looks impressive as a freshman. I mean, he's been throwing darts all night,
For sure. And we're hoping that's a false start, and it is. It won't matter. The clock is running as we are 60 seconds away from the final score of 56-6.
You know what I love, George? I love when a whistle is blown and the play stops before the ball's even snapped, and then both of the offensive line and the defensive line point at each other.
Point at each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes you actually can't tell, though, and
It
does
is.
make a difference.
It is.
Spalding even looked a little jumpy there. And a nice tackle there from Mike Sabatino. We haven't said his name yet tonight. Nice of him to get his kudos in before this game is over. The sophomore, he does have a fumble recovery this season, along with 25 tackles.
On the carry.
So it's 3rd and 11, Reed.
Mm-hmm.
See if the Dons can get a stop before the clock runs out.
George, with the clock winding down, who would you say is the LSN defensive or LSN player of the game?
It's obviously Michael Esco, the junior. He really gave the Dons a lot of opportunity tonight with the blocked punt and the fumble recovery off of the high snap.
He gave the Dons hope.
Yeah,
That's important.
That's important. As the clock expires, Spalding 56, Loyola 6. We'll see you next week as the Dons take on the Seed School in a senior night showdown. From Reed O'Connor, I'm George Schaefer. We'll see you next week on the Loyola Sports Network.